take the opportunity now to introduce our contestants. So this is how the competition is going to go, or the challenge.
That's what Ghana says to talk about collaboration. So I'm very lenient on the word competition. It's more showcasing what I've done. We have 6 main personalities who will be showcasing what they've done, or 6 main groups or solutions that we'll be looking at. At this point, I would like to introduce them, each of them, one after the other. We look at them and then we call them one after the other to present their solutions. First on my list, with a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the first proposer in the person of Mr. Kofi Joshua. He is presenting a solution that he calls campus hostel room booking and management. I am sure that hotel managers are here to want to listen to this. So let's see you. Mr. Kofi, where are you? Keep clapping. That is Mr. Kofi Joshua. Thank you very much. The next contestant, is actually proposers. It's a joint project. They are offering to us security door system with COVID-19 protocols check. And the proposers are maybe Sinyamesan and Christian Pusi. Let's see them. Where is Christian Pusi and Davis? Where are you? Davis and Christian. Where are they? Okay, so they will be here very soon. The next on my list, they have the solution is, I don't even know how to pronounce it. That's the electric power generation using RFID as Guardian, Bonsu, Osei, and Osei. Where's Guardian? Okay, give it up for Guardian, ladies and gentlemen. That is Guardian. I like the way he's modeling. Yes, Guardian, thank you for coming. Take your seat. The next solution we will be looking at today is from Spencer. And this solution is the Telegram donation system for Ghanaian users. Where is Stefan? Stefan, let's see you. Thank you very much, Stefan. Yes, it takes a lot to come forward for something, so we can do better than that. Oh, I like this. I like this part because as a former student of value, anything cafeteria where matters that concern me. Cafeteria management system using QR code. And then the proposals are responsible on hitting that code and Isaac Osa on top of it. Let's see that, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I would like to see the system. All right, and how they will demonstrate. And then finally, we have our latest entrance. She came in very late, and I'm sure she has a lot of goodies for us. She's the person of Benedicta Attack Quality. She is looking at Smart Being. Smart has been on Smart Being. Let's see you, Benedicta. Yes. In the course of this, in fact, let's give it up for her one more time because she's the only lady standing in this competition. And for your interest, she had to come in as a replacement, as a substitute at the last minute. He says, I'm always ready. In the spirit of value, excellent integrity and service, she was ready. She will present to us her solution as well. So ladies and gentlemen, enough of the talk. It's time for action. I want to invite to demonstrate for us presentation of his work for the judge. Now this is how it's going to go. We here are going to judge. We go to the front part of the judgment. We are going to give our verdict. So students will have, all those watching us, we are going to share a link with you. You vote for your favorite solution. After you have presented, you vote. And then the judges are going to then give us their verdict. But the judges vote counts for 80% of the mark. And then the audience, the students, whoever is watching at your vote only counts for 20% of the total amount. So 20% goes to you, 20% judges will have the biggest say. They will give us 80% of the total score. And so at the end of the day, you contribute, and the judges who are the critical guys will have the biggest say at the end. So that time will come. When they have all presented their solution, you vote for your favorite solution. The judges will give their scores, and at the end of the day, we declare the best solution for the day. And that is how it's going to go. Alright, so at this point, we want to proceed with the rest. I think I have to quickly. Alright, so at this point, I would like to introduce our judges, and they are going to take the seat to my right. So as I mention the name, they take their seats. We don't want any influence and interference from the others. And this is the time that I take the opportunity to introduce GLOCAL. GLOCAL, an alumnus of Valley University, doing great stuff. Later we'll talk more about what GLOCAL does. But today we have in the person GLOCAL, representing GLOCAL, the CEO himself, in the person of Stephen Ejechi, as one of our main judges. Let's call for him, ladies and gentlemen, as he takes his seat there. He is one of our main judges. So you cannot influence him. He is going to listen to the solutions, the presentation, and give his score. You can do better as he takes his seat. Dr. Dominic Talented Damwan, he will be one of our judges as well. Let's give it up for Dr. Damwan as he takes his seat. And our guest of honor special, who also doubles as our lead judge, will be in the person of, I'm not going to use honorable again, Mr. Peter Kwekuche Ofori, Deputy Director General at the National Innovation Technology. We want him to add his expertise in helping us decide who wins. We will let you know for him as we take the seat in the middle. Yes. And you see, once Mr. Che Ofori gives the okay to the project, you know the project has potential. All right, and that's what we're going to do. Thank you very much. Yes, our judges are taking their seats. The audience, the students are ready. I think we are ready to have our first presentation that will be given to us by the first person on the list, the person of Mr. Joshua, Campus Hostel Room Booking and Management System. With a round of applause, let's welcome him as he demonstrates to all of us how the system works.
Good afternoon. Also, my name is Kofi Bishara, as you just heard. And my project is hostel room booking and management. I would like to continue to tell a little story of an experience I had on campus. It was the resuming of another exciting semester. And we all, as usual, are supposed to come back to campus. And as one of the first things you do is that you make sure you secure your room and then you settle down while you look for other things, like course registrations and all that. So I think it's very important to work on it because it's one of the areas that I realized that when we start including my own self, that we spend too much time actually doing just booking room or registering for hostel. So I actually had a conversation with few students. I had a conversation with few portal managers, specifically Linda Notary and maybe media, to get their grievances, what they do, and then what they want to be changed. I also had few dialogue with students, and they also told me few things. So I came back and sat down in my room to put all the findings together to come up with a report system that will actually help to eliminate grievances that are associated with campus postal booking and management. So my story goes like this. I came to campus from the house. It was my birthday on 15th January. When I came, I entered the JJ Hotel. That's where I actually reside. I went there to get my registration form. As you already know, you get to the porter's lodge, you get your registration form, you have to write as and fill in the form and then register first before you proceed to booking of the room. So right from the first thing, which is getting the form to fill. I came to the porter's lodge, there were so many people there. And actually, I had to wait. And when I go back, they tell me, wait, there's another one in the form. So I thought of why wouldn't be any system that would actually bring this solution where we wouldn't have to take physical form and then fill, but just right at the comfort of your home, fill in the form. So one way or the other, you've already registered from the house, and you even book your room. So when you come to the house, so this is one thing that I actually think is very important. And also, while I waited, I saw that the hostel managers were under constraint. So managing student records is also a very big thing to them. I asked the people at the process blog, and they told me that they had like a system that they could easily search for student records without having to take.
So thank you very much. I think our judges want you to present your solutions within a time frame. And so we want you to do that in 10 minutes, all the contestants. So we are starting this time now. So go straight, just give a brief synopsis and go into your project. Then we go. So 10 minutes, we'll have the timer. When it's 10 minutes, in fact, you should be able to present your solution to everybody in 10 minutes. If you're not able to do that, we'll cut you off. Take the next contestant. So start, 10 minutes.
So I'm going to cut it short. Embedded in this story is a problem. The problem is that you find it difficult to actually register and book most of the time. And also on the part of the hostel managers, they also find it difficult dealing with student records because the current state is that they are using Excel to students, and they are presented with all the major hostels on campus. If you are a male, you filter them by clicking male, you have everything changed to only male hostel. You didn't notice, so for this scenario I was just denoting, and I'm brought to this interface. We are going to do it in two parts, the hostel managers and then that of the student. So for your hostel managers, you click on this, and also the hostel they are trying to get an accountant. So this is the letter. So for admins to log in, you just click admin login, and they come to this page. They actually register here, and then they click login, and then this screen is presented to them. As a student, this is how you register. So instead of coming to the portal slot to get the form has been digitalized. So you come to student registration, and then you start filling registration number. Perhaps you put your ID over there, and just a random ID, and let's proceed. First name, let's just choose a random name. Let's say Isaac. Let's say last name is Thompson. You select the gender. And then you fill in your contact number. Let's just put something there to represent. You come to email. It's very crucial because you need the email and the password to then or sign into your portal. So let's say Isaac at email.com. The password is Isaac. So I just registered. I go to Instagram login, and then you have it over there. You have to log in and once you register. So what I just did was do registering. So what you would have been doing by coming to the budget was has just been done in a split second. So now we have to log in to book our hostel. Okay, so now I come to the web page, and this is what you are presented with as a student. So perhaps you might have forgotten information while signing in. There's no problem with that. You can just come and change it. Go back to your dashboard, you come to my room, you click, and you have an information of a room you are supposed to do. So we'll go back and then create count from scratch and then go to the user description. Let's continue. Let me say from last name, let's say Peter. the part element of your use, you enter an amount. The forces that are into your force, let's do this. These are your info. You fill in the entire data is here. You can click on print this document and then you see yeah, so I just save my document and everything. If you come to access log, it tells you when you log in. So as you can see, you log in 12, 18. Now let's go to the other side and see how they also plan it. They use the data. They have a number of students that registered that particular semester. So as you can see, I have already did the test case and I entered some few. I registered to some few names. So this is what you see. And it has a very smart system. So for example, I want to search for future, you can put me. When I do type J, and then every student name pops up. So you don't have to go around looking for the people and all there is to take their information to click this little button and get the entirety of everything, the formula. Okay, so let's continue. And still on the dashboard, we have total rooms. So the admin adds room by himself. So let's see how the room admin works. Can click on add room. The seater is a 4 in the room. Perhaps the room number is 445. And for 4 in the room, the amount is 600. I create a room and get the notification thing. That's it. I just created the room. When I come to rooms, manage rooms, I'll see the entirety of all rooms that are set. When I come also to courses, they actually set the courses themselves. So while filling the form, you are required to select your course. So what you do is you will add a course. So we have courses, manage courses, and these are the courses there. Let's see how they add courses. So you get a course code. Let's see medicine, Bachelor of Science in Medicine. You add a course, gives you a notification, and yes, that's done. So when I go to courses, when I go to manage courses, you can see it over here, nursing. So in general, so this is the entirety of how the system works. Thank you very much.
So, how much will your software get? Going to ask you a question. Um, so we want to know based on your how long do you define just I'm going to pass on we ask all three questions. Okay.
Yeah, I want to ask you how you maintain the system in terms of the security and how do you determine that this particular system is security or not. And it seems that it's from the making. Are you doing payments and how is it from this? How is it this? And are you going to let them do the payments before they get to school or before they do the payment? When you were booking the room, I see you just let them put an amount there. Something they want to pay when they if you could.
Thank you very much. In the first question, how much will they notice you if they apply this treatment and this software or this solution? And it's dependent on. Yes, so one thing I realized is that the sheets that the printing they do, they have to print on a sheet. That's what is given to us to fill. So the cost of printing is going to be tax specified. I'll only be printing, or literally just very little amount of printing, which would reduce the cost of printing those registration forms for students. So all the money they would have used to buy or do the printing, they would have saved this money. And then how will I maintain the system in terms of security? So in terms of security, I heard that as a data holder, how do you know that? How will you know that this student is from DD lottery or this student is not registering cross semester? So we have the entire database where we collect the information, we categorize them in our database such that if you verify which hostel you registered in, so when you are registering for another hostel, it gives a message that you don't belong to that hostel. So that means that problem is solved.
Thank you very much. I think we can do better for him. He has to put forward whatever in 10 minutes. So, our contestants, make sure you put your ideas together very quickly so you can be able to present in 10 minutes and be ready for the 3 questions as well. I want to go straight to the next solution. The proposer is Stefan Mensah. He is talking to us, presenting Telegram donation system for Ghanaian users. Let's give Stefan a round of applause. Stefan has 10 minutes to present. Just 3 questions, then later we vote.
My name is Stefan Mensah. You know that most students here are photographers. Some of them are photographers, YouTubers, videographers, etc. And the things they do, like, some say that we are not to support them in the activities that they are doing. And but support and financial donation, teach them. And they sometimes need to raise funds for some of their projects. And they don't want to display their mobile money wallet number because of fraud going on. But with this platform, when they register, after the registration, they just have to use their Telegram username, send it to their friends and families, and they can use their voice to donate to them. After making the donation, they get paid out 2 days later in their wallet. First, you need the Telegram account. Then you search for when you open the box, you see this message. So you have to donate or to start receiving your donation. And And then donate button when donate to someone who has already created an account for this. So I'll create an account for this. You have a message telling you that you have to meet our terms of service and privacy policy. I'm clicking continue. You'll be shown our terms of services. Please take your time and read through it. Then either you accept or you refuse. If you accept, you'll be shown our privacy policy. That's the privacy policy. You go through, you read it carefully. After you read it, you now accept or refuse. Then you see this message that let's frequently set up your account. The first prompt, you prompt for your name, then your email address. Phone number. See now. Then you select your network. Here you have to enter the email address. So this is what you give to your friends when you want to do. Now let's go donating our money. Then you select the amount. Either 5 cedis, 10 cedis, 50 cedis, or you choose any amount. To enter any amount, select others. You go to 2,000. So now you have to select the thing and still pay 2,000 and generate the refund. The sentence is more than sentence because issue might come out when you want to enter your thing like network issue or all this stuff. That's why the thing you see. I'll receive the power. Receive the notification from the Lord that that is why you see the whole command instead of answering because each one has been paid as a revelation of the and this is what the person you guys are in his business permissive details. Now let's go through some of the additional details. This generates legacy. This generates legacy is supposed to generate direct access to the world, but right now it's not working. Let's go to have the reference.
All right, so let's give a round of applause. Yes, we want able to go through our back. I'm sure the questions will bring out the other issues about functionalities and rest. So let me give it to the judges.
Hello. I want to find out. Hello. We want to find out if the Department of Computer Science and Engineering what they use this application for. Hello. What a product as FTN would take this.
So it actually my domain. So I might ask you what I want us to. You know, the problem we are trying to solve is to make sure that people don't fraud people down. The middle ways where people are able to fraud is something we call social engineering. Where somebody calls you that they try to engage with you on a conversation and then they would try to tell you that you are going to get a pin. In the conversation, you are going to get a pin. So when you get a conversation is for them. And then they person get a pin and then they make it number for them. And now this particular solution doesn't actually solve that problem because I can still engage, talk to you. Because I have it won't be better for me. Maybe if lot of instances go through the same process and still get defrauded. That question is about cost. This particular approach It's more me sending money to you on the normal star 170 hash. If I go to star 170 hash, we are going to pay 1%. So for a user who wants to send money to you, using the regular channel where I just dial star 170 and then use the pay Momo and use Momo user and send it to directly. That particular approach is 1%. Now for this particular approach, it's longer and it is more costly. So how do you solve that? At least let me give it to this thing. I don't think it will work better.
Alright, so you are clear with all the three questions.
Because the first one is because it's free to use, anyone can use it. The only challenge is how to use it. So right now there is only this one is for one person. Now you can deploy it on your own. So when you set it out yourself, there's no all you have to pay is for the hosting of the box. Now it depends on where you're going to use it. The second question, selling to the network, that I have to think about it. I can't just decide on the pricing. And the third one, the fourth issue. This one, you don't use the person number directly because you don't know the person number, only the person's username. And going through the process, we show you the name and the username so that you are sure that you are sending it to this person. Later,
after the URL, when you get where you initiate the payment for the phone, you enter phone number, right? That is everything for, right? Your own number. Okay. So before you initiate the payment from the link, you what man? Hello. We are playing on yours. No, you continue with the second one. I actually asked you questions.
He says he cannot get the question clear. So
I wanted you to continue with the second question so that we don't delay too much. So you continue with the second question. Should I repeat it for you? It's about cost. This one is more costly when you are using this approach than when you send directly from your menu to somebody. Because now I have my menu, I dial star 170 hash. I select Momo user. I enter the recipient phone number. He gets it. I only pay 1%. You see the point? In that case, it is just like this one. This one is even more lengthier. So how do you solve that? Because the cost is more in this approach.
are you clear?
there is why I this is how first of all, I use the payment FaceApp, which is FaceApp also take 1.9% membership. And I also have
matter what technology you are using, it only takes how much he is paying, what is paying for me. Now, when you ask me, now you are going to pay 1%, and I use this service 5. What will make me use your own, not use the regular one? Well, in fact, when you have a staff master in the someone, that is not where the problem is. What it is when you go to the guys and the agent, that is the channel where the problem starts. And not when you are sending from your wallet on the MTN portal to somebody. The agent, you mention your number to him, you write it on the book, he enters it, they have a portal. In fact, they have a portal where the fraud starts. And not when you are sending from your WhatsApp, your direct to somebody. So if this approach is going to cost more, as a customer, payment channel that I don't care, because that is you as a businessman. But for me as a customer, I don't care. You could pay my charges. Besides doing your own, it has to be cost effective for me.
On my end, with the boss, first of all, the person, if you doesn't know, doesn't have only I can do. And second, when you have an issue, this time, you try to see about.
All right, give it up for Stefan. Yes. So the solution will come and the questions will test the veracity of the solution. So far, so good. All right, so at this point, I want to take a break. And for Italy, as they set up for the next presenters to also present their solutions, we want to watch a short animation video developed by, modeled by one of your own, Emmanuel Jensen. Emmanuel Jensen, yes, so that is Emmanuel Jensen. Give it up for him, Emmanuel Jensen. He has modeled an animation video. We want to see what valuable students can do. Let's go.
Mr. Emmanuel Watson, or L as you prefer to be called. It's been 4 years since you've been with us. To ensure that you continue the job, it will be beneficial if you told me exactly what happened. Do you ever get nightmares, doctor? Because I do. I get nightmares every single time I close my eyes. The moment these eyes are shut, I go back to that same place, that same spot, and it plays over and over and over. Could I have done something different? Let's not from the beginning.
Without giving your mama a lovely, lovely kiss.
Now listen to this song. Each and every one was put on earth for a purpose. Finding your purpose is the first step to becoming a great man. Don't let the negative things people say about you determine who you become. Love yourself and know that you are loved. I love you and you are destined for greatness. Go out there and make a difference. I love you. Did you hear his wife was arrested for stealing? I'm sure he's a thief himself. Hello.
My God, look at you, all grown up. You are a man now. I can't imagine how you must be feeling, but you must stay strong. I've made lots of mistakes, but look where I am now. Don't be like me. You have the chance to be better. I don't think you will try and use my situation to try and bring it down. But I need you to stay strong. You are not me.
Hey, is this speaking? Oh no, how is it? I heard what you said about your father. I'm sorry to hear. Oh no, it's cool. I think I'm also saying.
No, it's not. Because of the kind of wisdom, it's not right. No one has to go through that. You see, I don't know you're feeling right now. My father is the greatest because of some privileges that are going to also be associated with that national unity or what they call it. Moreover, making assumptions about someone because of a ethnic background is totally wrong and should not be condoned. It's clearly racist and inhuman. We are all human and we should be treated as such. No one should be made to feel less important because of the color of their skin or their ethnic background. Thank you. I appreciate that you did. But what happened to you? Anyway, my name is James.
I'm Ella. Nice to meet you, Ella. Nice to meet you too, James. Hey, black girl, go to the back of the room. That's where your kind belongs. I won't go anywhere. I am sitting Go back to Africa and let the main country and sit where you like. Perhaps if you had paid much attention in class, you would have known that Africa is a continent in a lot of countries. You want to get smart out, huh? Who is so smart and punch you in the face? Leave the baby alone.
Mr. Emmanuel Boateng, or L as you prefer to be called. It's been 4 years since you've been with us. To ensure that you've gotten closure, it will be beneficial if you tell me exactly what happened.
Do you ever get nightmares, doctor? Because I do. I get nightmares every single time I close my eyes. The moment these eyes are shut, I go back to that same place, that same spot, and it plays over and over and over. And I ask myself one question. Could I have done something different? Let's start from the beginning.
Years later, the life of the Negro is still sadly crippled by the manacles of segregation and the chains of discrimination. 100 years later, the Negro lives on a lonely island of poverty. I have a dream.
Your bus is in. Hey, send Baba to them home. The country Baba boat dream beer. What dream your car queen? Where do you think you are going without giving your mama a lovely double kiss? Now listen to me, son. Each and every one was put on earth for a purpose. Finding your purpose is the first step to becoming a great man. Don't let the negative things people say about you determine who you become. Love yourself and know that you are loved. I love you and you are destined for greatness. Go out there and make a difference. I love you.
Did you hear his father was arrested for stealing? I'm sure he's a thief himself. Hello. My boy, look at you, all grown up. You are a man now. I can't imagine how you must be feeling right now. But you must stay strong. I've made lots of mistakes, and look where I am now. Don't be like me. You have the chance to be better. I know people will try and use my situation to try and bring it down, but I'm gonna need you to stay strong. You are not me. Hey, is this seat taken? Oh no, have a seat. I heard what they said about your father. I'm sorry to hear that. Oh no, it's cool. I get that most often. No, it's not. Stereotyping someone because of the color of his skin is not right. No one has to go through that. You see, I know how you are feeling right now. My father is in prison too, because of something he did. But I wouldn't want to be associated with that, much more bullied for what my father did. Moreover, making assumptions about someone because of his ethnic background is totally wrong and should not be condoned. It's purely racist and inhuman. We are all humans and we should be treated as such. No one should be made to feel less important because of the color of his skin or his ethnic background. Thank you. I appreciate the kind words. Oh, no problem. You're welcome. By the way, my name is James. I'm L. Nice to meet you, L. Nice to meet you too, James. Hey, black girl, go to the back of the room. That's where your kind belongs.
I am not going anywhere. I am sitting right here.
Go back to Africa then. That's the only country you can sit where you like.
Perhaps if you had paid much attention in class, you would have known that Africa is a continent and not a country.
You want to be a smart mouth, huh? You won't be so smart when I punch you in the face. Leave the lady alone.
Oh. Hey, killer.
What you gonna do next? You're dead. Gentlemen, I think we can settle this with our words.
What were you thinking, trying to fight two Buddhists by yourself? Who do you think you are? Superman? Besides, I had this whole thing under control.
It's that hard to thank someone for saving you.
Standing up for me. You just got your ass kicked. Anyways, I do appreciate you trying to defend me.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Fellow students, hello. Are we here? Please let me see your way. Okay. My name is Rex Commander, and this is my partner, Isaac. And we are presenting on the cafeteria management system in this program. Over time, as my years here in Bangladesh, I've realized that the cafeteria is not really a functional place to be, especially when you attend classes for like several hours and you have to go and eat. I tell you, it's devastating. Sometimes. And then sometimes when you feel there is a need to be there. And then also the queue, as I said, is crazy. So what my partner and I do, we try to develop a system that will generate a quick response for students so that it shortens the time that students are going to eat. Essentially, that is what we're trying to do. Please, I hope you can understand. Okay, so this is the dashboard where the administrator can see the sales fee for today because it's not that the cafeteria has two sections of it. One for the students who are affiliated, who are registered as affiliates, and then there's another for non-affiliated, that is staff and another students who are not moved onto or registered onto the affiliate system. So essentially, the admin can be able to track the sales day per day. So that's the dashboard. So we go to the first one, we go to the registration for students. So what we are saying is that when students come for the first semester or for the first semester, they will have to go through a registration process, just like any new level student taking a student ID card. So the card process or the registration process will enable every student who wants to move on to the free system to have a free card, which will pay a free card. So the first process is the registration process, which will take you shortly. So the first parameter is the student ID, and then we have a reference ID, which we can identify for every student who is registered to the free system. And then also we take the full name of the student, and then the type of fee, whether a vegan or a non-vegan. Okay, so after the registration, it generates a report that is sent to the company. Bear in mind, this is a registration process that's not open for the students because of malicious intent. So the admin will automatically have to verify or register you into the system because of malicious intent. But if you allow students to register themselves, we will happen. So after the registration process, the next model is, so after the registration, the admin has the opportunity to see the number of students registered in the system, which will generate a report. So this is
validate students who are authentically registered on the system. So after the key model, then we go to the part where the lab can generate the QR for the student. Here are the categories the student ID as well, and then the unique identifier, and then the field type. Unfortunately, our internet is disconnected, so we can't get it connected to the internet. The user has access to generate download the program after the program will just start generation.
Okay. So we've been able to generate the IDs, which has been saved by the administrator. So now, this is the process where we generate the cards, the feeder cards for the students. So those parameters also take the generated QR code. So there's a pop-up message that the registration has been successful. So we then move on to view the ID. So we already generated something like this system. So this interface gives an admin opportunity to print cards after all the program process has been generated. If you're getting a million, having to generate ID cards to print it, coming back. So what we had in mind is that a list of IDs is generated as dependent on the number of registered students on the system. So as you can see, the admin has the chance to print the cards and issue to the student. So the card, the QR, as you see, has your data embedded in it. So we move on to the next module, which happens to be the sales module. So the sales module deals with the staff and then the non-feeders or students who are not registered to the feeding system. So essentially, when you restaurant side, you
you place your order, the food you want, the quantity, you pay the price, the admin issues you a chit. You take it to the other side, you take your food. It's just as simple. But this time around, it's not going to be manual. The admin is going to have full access to. So assuming the person wants to buy bangkun, let's say 2 plates. So the system checks if there's enough banku for you. If there isn't enough banku for you, then the system tells you that there is not. Otherwise, we look at other options as well. So assuming the user wants to, let's say, buy tuna. So we add it to the list. So with this, it's available. So the system allows you to add it to the list. So the admin has a chance to pay. And then assuming the user, so the total cost is 50 cedis. So assuming the user gave you 100 Ghana, the system is able to detect the change or the balance you have to give to the user. So the admin has the chance to pay. And then quickly, the report is generated for you with your order descriptions, which you can print. Or you can move on to generate a new sales, assuming other people are also in the queue waiting. So we move on to the other modules that has to do with, you see, the cafeteria. It's a full management system. So the principals or those in charge of the management of the place has access to see their suppliers, their customers, even receive supplies from other people. So we can get a new receiving, let's say from a rice supplier. The
product will be rice. Unless they quantify that at a price of 2,000 cedis, then we add it. So you realize that the system is able to generate these things and keep track of every supply made with a date and a reference. So it will be easier for the matrons to detect or to determine
the number of supplies they have. And then also we have a category list. So essentially, as you have seen, thank you.
All right, so thank you very much. They had a lot to present, but I'm sure the question will bring out the other features that they have. All right, so let me go to the judges.
Thank you very much. I would like you to justify why we have to implement this system. Financially, what are you looking at for Valley View University?
Okay. So my question is, can you highlight on the problem again, and the problem, what you are trying to solve, and how is your system solving that problem? Because I think you mentioned about queuing, but if you talk about queuing and you have to go through all those processes to apply and pay for food, I think it adds more to the delay time and reduce it.
Yeah, in fact, that is exactly my question. Your problem statement was all about queuing. How students go join long queues before they access their food. In fact, I can see this is a very good data management system. But in your presentation, I'm not really seeing how it solves the queue problem. Because I could come, we could be 1,000 in a queue. Each of us have our own cards with QR codes. The queue is still long. How is this system solving that problem? As a student, the system was able to generate a QR code card for me. But I'm still in a queue anyway, because I still joined the queue and moved through the ranks to the point where they serve the food. So can you explain how this is solving the problem? Thank you.
Thank you for the questions. Please, I would like to address yours first.
the queuing problem is not the only thing we are looking at. What we have realized is, or what my partner and I have realized is that students are even able to eat when they have not fully paid their fees. So it means that other students are eating out of other students' account, which is, I would say, a loss to the school, because the matron would then have to decide that this amount of money paid by these students who have paid in full would have to be used for those students who are feeding but have not yet paid. So it doesn't only look at the queue problem, but it looks at generating revenue per pay basis.
Like data management.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I get it.
Yes.
So it means that it's not really solving the queue.
And
It
then,
is more
and then
like
the queue also, we are trying to which takes 2 seconds just to scan a QR code. So I believe that the manual process of verifying the chit and also the matron having to take it and tear it, and that process, the QR will just eradicate all that. So the response time, assuming if it was 3 minutes, it will now be cut down to 1.5 minutes, I should say.
wait, you know he's still having a card, right? He's having a card. So usually the QR would work when there's, once the guy is taking, in fact, when we were a student, we had something like cards, in fact, and the queue was still there. We had issues where you go, the system is not working, you scan, I think it was a fingerprint or something. I remember those days. And we complained that, you brought the system, we think the system is supposed to solve the problem, but the system is rather compounding the problem. So, yeah, you can look at that side very
Yes,
critically, but for the data management, it's perfect.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Sir, can you please? Okay. Okay. So the problems we identify and try to offer the solution, first of all, was the fact that students have to pay before they eat. Otherwise, they will be eating from other students' account, which is a loss to the school. So to save the school a lot of money, and then also the queue problem, we're looking at cutting down the time, not completely eradicating the queue. Yes. So essentially, I think, yeah, and also to do away with the cheat system, so that students will have cards. Say, I'll come to that.
Okay, so I just wanted to highlight, especially on the queuing problem, there are queue management strategies available. So if you are building the technology to solve that, especially that kind of problem, you need to integrate those strategies and see in a way that will best solve the problem.
Yes,
okay,
sir.
so it's not only about the technology itself. You need to look at the human behavior aspect, then also integrate those things in when you are proposing a solution.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Sir, and also the financial aspect of it, as I said. We've realized that students can even eat and pay at the end of the semester, which is not right for students who are fully paid for their feeding. It means that your money would have to be shared for another student who has not paid. That is the truth. And the school has made it in such that you can eat and pay at the end of the semester, which is not right, I think so, because anyone who pays is entitled to his plate of meal and doesn't have to divide with anyone. So I believe that will save the school a lot of money, and then also they will be able to determine the funds they have per the supply that they have to supply to the students. So financially, it will save the school a lot of money, and then also the printing of the chits.
You haven't estimated how much you are going to save.
Please, with the printing of the chit, every week we print chits for students. We are trying to cut out that cost.
I'm talking about estimates. We have not done that. That is the problem. you have to look at your solution in terms of tangible resources. Right? Okay, thank you.
I think you can do better than that. You know, in life, sometimes you come up with a solution and it's so perfect. You bring it to these judges and they punch holes. But you see, the beauty of this exercise is to make it stronger and better and more robust. And that is the context within which we have to look at it. And so let's see how the queuing problem, and it's still a problem. Let's see how we can address it. But as Mr. Che said, yes, it's a good data management, no doubt about that. But how does it reduce the queue? You know, the work, and it can always be improved. All right. So the next one is talking about, I've never heard this before, smart dustbin or smart bin. I do not know how a dustbin can be smart. It's only Benedicta who knows how to do that. And so we want to invite at this point Benedicta Attack Quality, the only female contestant standing in this competition. Yes. Oh yes, and maybe I know. She's standing alone. You are with a man. And we want to see her solution. The holes will punch, and we see how she'll react. Give it up for her one more time, ladies and gentlemen. Where is your oh, okay. So this is quite different. So I hand over the microphone to her. Oh. All right, I think this is better.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Please, I'm Colette Benedicta Atta, a student of this institute, and I'm here to present the smart dustbin. Smart dustbin. I know everyone is waiting to see this. We will see it when I'm done with the presentation. Okay, this idea came to me when I realized that in my community, there's a whole lot of waste mismanagement. And in fact, this problem is in Ghana. We face waste management problem in Ghana. I want to do something to curb this problem. If not for anything, try to innovate something. Because I'm coming from Valley View and I'm offering IT. So I have to use an IT solution to solve this problem in Ghana. All this, a prototype of whatever will come up. And I hope with the honorable judges here and everyone, this will not be only in Valley View. It will be something that will be initiated and be used in Ghana. Thank you. This is the smart dustbin. This is a prototype. That's why you can see all the things around it. When it's initiated and created new, you won't see this around it. The function of this dustbin is that it opens automatically. The purpose of this dustbin is that it opens automatically when you get close to it. And I think that one will even help it's attractive to people, yes. When you get close to something and it's automated, we all get to use it, especially when it comes to the hand sanitizer. We like to use the automated one than the manual one. So with this, it will even encourage the right disposal of waste. And when it gets full, it indicates that it's full. And it can send an SMS to the waste management that this dustbin rated this number, maybe they can allocate numbers to them, is full and need to be getting rid of. Thank you. I just want to do a quick illustration of how it works. And the screen here can tell you when it's full or it's not full. So it's not only for the waste management company. It's for you, the one disposing or using this waste bin. When you get close to it, you know it's full, so you won't use it. Thank you. If we can all watch the screen. Right. Can you see the screen? The screen welcomes you when you get close to it. Even when it's there, it's on. And it's portable. It can be placed anywhere. It doesn't require the use of electricity. You can see. I want to demonstrate how it works. Apart from the screen, we can read from the screen that being not full. I hope you can all see it. Being not full.
If you cannot see, just believe. Just believe that you have seen it. I can see it. Let me read it. Welcome. Being not full. Yes.
Thank you. Please, can you see? When you get close to it, it will open. So we are dealing with the timing. And as I said, this is the prototype. When it's full, I wanted to illustrate that one. With the sensor here, this is the work of the sensor here. It will indicate that it's full and it will come on the screen. So we have to fill it. And I don't want us to get through all that. So thank you. You can do it.
I want to confirm whether it will show that being full. Can you get me things to packing? Yes. Okay. Okay. Oh, bin is full. Is at the end. You want to say something? This was on record time, under 5 minutes. Give it up for him one more time. This is your smart bin. All right, so I want to go to the judges for the questions.
Thank you very much. I have two questions for you. The first question is, can you tell us the unit cost of producing one of these portable smart bins? And if you were to go on a mass or a large scale production, what would be your initial cost of setting up such a business?
Okay. Prof has asked one of my questions. So you were talking about the SMS alert. We didn't see that one, or that's not part of it. So.
Okay.
With the SMS alert, it's directed to the company, the waste management company. So the message is sent to the waste management company that the bin is full. This bin is full. It required a SIM card, which is here. Which is here.
Is there a SIM card there? So what, probably for demonstration purposes, you could have used your SIM card so that at least we will get the notification. You have it. Can I give you my SIM card? Oh, okay. All right. So I become the waste management company.
Yeah, thank you very much. So I want to understand the actual problem it is solving. When the bin is full, it sends a notification to the waste guys to come and pick it up. Will they be able to, like, if I'm an owner of this, would I be able to force things into it? Will I be able to force items into it even though it is full?
That is the problem this is supposed to solve.
Okay.
When it's full, it won't open.
Okay.
It won't open, so you'll be able to force and get some of the things distorted. So when it's full, it won't open.
Okay, so that is what it is actually solving.
It's solving the sanitation problem in Ghana, I think.
Okay.
Most of the sanitation problems in Ghana. Because people are attracted to automated things. And I think with this, instead of dumping rubbish on the floor, they can get close to it and then dump the rubbish inside.
Yeah, the point where you don't have to touch it. I'm saying that the point where you don't have to touch it is good, so that you don't get your hands touching the thing to give you infection.
Thank you.
Okay.
So, okay. The unit cost of this, is your answer. The unit cost of this, because this is a prototype and is small, at least, I don't want to come out with the unit cost, because if we want to use something, we have to use something a little bigger. So that one, the budget will come later. And if it's on a mass production, I think with this idea, a lot of companies will support. So if you want a mass production, I have to consult. There are consultations that you have to do, the things involved, before you can produce it massively. Thank you.
Okay, I just wanted to follow up with maybe going forward, a suggestion. Most of the waste management problems is attitude now. So you might want to focus on creating technological solutions that will help kids and also change the attitude of making it, when you say smart, at least you should also be enough to educate those who are using it. Because somebody will come to see that the bin is full and just dump the rubbish on the ground. So I think maybe that might be something that you might want to look into on your smart bin idea.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I think you can do better. If you have never seen a smart bin in your life, you just saw one. Very soon, watch out for it in your homes. Yeah, just by make sure you put the pin in there. Thank you very much. The next presentation will be from Gadiel Bonsu Oseiwusu. He is presenting piezoelectric power generation using RFID access. I don't understand anything on that presentation, but he is here. Thank you very much for coming. Give it up for him one more time.
Thank you. I am Gadiel Bonsu, presenting on the piezoelectric power generating system
We've all realized that in this country there is instability, or there is instability of power generation. That's the electricity of Ghana sometimes fails us with generating power for us, which affects our traffic lights, street lights, and street cameras. And as a developing country, we know that these resources are vital and they need to be powered on all the time. So I come up with this idea called the piezoelectric power generating system. It actually works in a form that we have this device which generates electricity whenever force is being applied on it. So I'm implementing it in such a way that whenever it is implemented or installed on the roads and cars are passing by, it passes on it and it generates the electricity and it will be stored in a battery. Then it will be used to power the street lights, street cameras, and the street resources. Now, this device, when installed on the roads, will help us to generate the electricity needed to power these resources 24/7. So therefore, there will be no power cutout as we have been experiencing. We've been seeing that sometimes whenever there is power cutout, we will see they will have a personnel who is now acting as a street camera and a traffic director, instead of these resources helping us in directing these traffic and monitoring the roads. Apart from this, the main purpose of this project is focusing on the future of electric cars. We know electric cars will be in Ghana soon, and we have not actually planned to a way of charging them. These projects will help us to charge electric cars by way of whenever, when it is installed on a road, cars pass by and they pass on it, the power will be generated. Then we have something like a fuel station, which will store the power generated. And then when it is being stored, with the help of a card called an RFID card, any of the electric car users can have access to this generated power, and then they will use it to charge their cars. Now, for the purpose of demonstration, I'm limiting it to portable device. Now, let's come to this school. When this device is being installed around on campus, our daily activities, as we are going to class, we are coming to class, all those activities will help us to generate the electricity. It will be stored, and wherever you are, you can charge your phones. So let's see what we have here. Please, I will need 4 volunteers to come and test the system. Four volunteers.
Stefan.
Okay, so whenever it is on, it boosts straight into swipe card for user one. That's when the electric car user passes by any of the generated power and he or she wants to charge their cars. It boosts into power on and then it moves straight to swipe your card to activate. So these are the cars. Let's take it out. These are our electric car driving. So you will swipe your card against this model. Yeah, just swipe it. So it will tell you user one is registered and it will give you a balance of 5 minutes to charge your car, electric car. Then you can also swipe. Okay, user two is also registered. Now the last person. Okay. Now you have 3 users authenticated on this system. Now, if you are not authenticated, you can't have access and you can't use it to charge your phone, your car. But for the purpose of demonstration, you are going to use a phone or a portable device to charge it. So, any of you having a phone and a charger? Yeah. Yeah, cord. It is asking you to connect your charger and then you swipe your card. Now you can connect your phone. Okay, you see he connected his phone but it's not charging because he have not yet swiped the card for the system to know that he is on the system. So you can swipe your card. No, closer. Okay. Let's do it. Swipe the card for it to stop charging. Okay. So okay, so now you can now swipe. Closer. Now it is saying invalid card because you are not registered on the system. So different user. Okay. Now you can see it is now charging. you can swipe to stop the charging. When you are done charging your device, you just swipe your card to stop charging it. It's okay. It's okay. No, okay. Okay. So it is not registered, or you're saying invalid card. Now let's test the part of generating the power. You can come. Whenever someone steps on this device, you see this light lights up to show us that there's actual flow of power through the system, or there's actual flow of power through this device. So whenever something or a force passes on it, it generates the electricity. And you can see whenever I step on it, it gives me a step count, the number of times I've stepped on the device, and now the power generated per step. So you can step on it. Okay, different person. You see, it's 12 volts. Now it's 12.52. Okay. Okay, a different person can step. Okay. So whenever someone steps on this device, so when it is installed on the roads and cars are passing by, they will pass on this device, and then the power will be generated from this device, will be stored in this battery, which will be now used to charge these devices. Thank you.
All right, so quickly we turn to our judges for their questions.
Yes, thank you so much for your work. The first thing I would like to know from you, that if we were to implement this on a larger scale, on the average, how many or how much power, probably in megawatts, would you be producing a day? And then, looking at the prototype, how much did it cost you to come up with it? And so you can postulate that if you were to go on commercial basis for such a small assembly like this, it will be cost effective.
Okay, my question is in line with Prof's question, which is that how many devices, the piezoelectric generators, how many will you require to generate enough power, let's say, for a house, a full day? Like, what the my is that how much devices do you need to generate enough significant power to make it more realistic and usable?
Yeah. I want to actually understand the part where you generate the power. Is it when a weight comes onto the thing or when there's a movement?
Any form of weight. So it should be, let's say 1 kilo. At least 1 kilo can can give out power.
Okay, so on a normal time, if a driver wants to, using the car instance you brought, I have a car and I want to charge with this technology, I'll have to drive my car to stand on that thing to generate electricity to feed my car, or?
Okay, so this is how it is. We the citizens are going to help to generate the electricity. So it will be installed on the roads. So cars are around all the time passing on it. There are a lot of cars passing around all the time. Even when it is installed just in front of this place, we have about at least 1,000 cars passing a day. So each car passed on it, it generates the electricity, and it will be stored at a separate place. For the case of the electric car charging
example you
Yeah.
did, yeah.
So it will be stored in a different place, like how we have the fuel station. So we have something like a fuel station for the electric cars, where the power generated from the PZO will be stored, and then it will be used to charge the cars.
Okay, but the point where the car passes and it generates.
Pardon?
I'm still not really clear about the generation. So can you just
the
start
generation
at the point where you want it to generate and start generating, or it's only when it passes? Because the example you were giving, you were telling them to stand.
Okay.
So is it just a weight to generate it, or just a movement?
What we are doing right now is whenever there is any form of force, which is
on the,
yes.
So I can go get stones.
Yeah, it will still generate, but it needs to be moving.
That's
so
what
when I'm moving,
I
step on it, it will generate.
So if I just without going back and forth, it will not generate.
That's why I'm implementing on the road. That's why we have cars always, and so it can be generating the electricity for us.
Okay, so yeah, this is a good question I wanted to get clarified. So it means that then to actually deploy it on a large scale, you need to actually work on the roads itself, right? Put things on the roads we have before you can deploy it on a large scale.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay. So with the first question, I think per step, whenever you step on it, it depends on the weight and. Hello. Yeah, thank you. It depends on the weight which was applied on it. Now it has given out 12 volts, 12.42, which was generated as I stepped on it. Now it is 17.14. So it is not stable, but small, it generates into a large amount of electricity. So, with Prof's question.
My question was on the average.
No, I was answering.
Okay.
Yeah. So if we are to calculate the amount of energy generated per step, we can see that per step, if at least it can generate 5 volts, then we have to multiply the 5 volts by the watts we will need, which will determine the number of PZOs we will need to generate electricity for the energy we were talking about, the sum of energy you were saying which will be needed to power a house. With Prof's question, sir, please can you ask the question again? The question.
I was asking you to indicate to me or to us that if we were to implement this on a large scale, what would be the average megawatts that will be developed or that will be generated a day?
Okay, as I was saying, I said earlier, depending on the number of cars that will pass on it or the number of people that will step on it, that's what we are going to use to generate the megawatt per day, depending on the amount of weight and the number of cars that were on it.
Then the second question was, in producing setup, what was the cost? And if we were to commercialize it, how can we be viable?
Okay, with this prototype, I spent like 3,000 Ghana cedis for this prototype alone. And if it's to be implemented on a large scale, I think you have to.
I'm looking at if it costs you 3,000, how an individual save if a person were to have a copy or a prototype?
Okay, depending on where it was implemented. Like let's say that of the roads I was talking about, the traffic and the road resources I was talking about. If this device is being implemented on the roads, I think the power generated will help reduce the cost which is being invested in powering all road street lights, cameras, and traffic lights, the amount invested in those things will reduce for the government, meaning it will be solely dependent on this device. Thank you, sir.
I think you can do better than that. So Gadiel presented his solution. The questions were asked. He attempted them. As I told you, very soon your vote will count. We're going to share a link on your platforms so you can start voting for your preferred solution based on the presentations and the answers that were given when the judges posed them. At this point, we want to take our last presentation for the day, and that will be given to us by Mavis Nyamesa and then Christian Kusi. Let's give it up for them as they come. They are talking about security door system, and I'm sure when they are here, we'll see how they are going to implement that. Give it up for them, Mavis. Yes, for the ladies. Yes. Mavis, and then Christian. I'll hand over the microphone to them as they talk us through their solution, and now that I think the technical